welcome everybody to another episode of the XoneBros. This is your positive gaming and Xbox community. As always, I'm joined by Mr. McSpicy.
Hey, what's going on?
I'm joined by Jordan the Man.
Hello.
And I am X1. And Jordan was sick this last week, and you said it was an interesting sickness that you had.
It was a bad one.
Tell me what happened.
Well, so what happened is my daughter got it, and she's 2, and that was a bad one because when you're 2, you can't really clean up after yourself.
Yep.
So I have to do it. You know?
I'll be honest. So I got sick too. Spoiler alert. I got this too.
Oh, really?
Oh,
How
yeah.
did you get it, Spicy?
I think Jordan gave it to me.
I think I was a what do you call it? A carrier. After because my daughter and my wife got it, and I was great. I felt like a champion.
You're gold.
Oh yeah. And I think we came over because we do a weekly Dungeons and Dragons, and I probably gave it to you then.
I think he gave it to me last podcast.
Oh, it might have been last podcast. Yeah, last Friday.
And David, you know when he said that, or George, you can't clean up after yourself? Oh my gosh. I mean, when you're an adult, you can't clean up after yourself after the 2. This was one of the most. I have never felt so alone in my life.
Oh, really?
It was
What, do you
like
have,
a
like, a
24
fever and stuff?
It was a 24-hour flu.
Oh.
And
I would rather...
I don't know how graphic we should get on this show, but oh my gosh. This is the first time I fell asleep with my face in the toilet bowl.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Because you're so
For about
weak.
20 minutes.
Like, you're just,
Whoa, my goodness.
It was so bad.
It was violently ill then.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And the next day, it was like a day and a half after, my body craved pizza because I lost 10 pounds in a day and a half.
So you
And
were
my body was
violently
like,
ill. Yes.
Calories, get calories as fast as possible.
Well, I'm glad I've avoided it because I hate getting sick. But I would rather have a 24-hour bug than like one of those long colds.
I feel like it took 2 days to get fully clear of this thing.
This was a
Mark
battle.
Mark says it. He was talking to me about it the other day. He was like, "There's a point where you just walk through that dark cloud and you're done. Like you just escape the."
So
cloud
wait,
and
were
you're
you
like,
both sick at the same time?
No.
No. So what were you?
It was Sunday. It was Sunday and Monday for me, and I think you were Tuesday. And I was talking to we played. I think it was Forza like Monday
You've
night.
inspired us
Wait, how did you give it to him if he got sick before you?
because my daughter
Science.
and wife had it. So we think I was a carrier,
And then he got sick.
and then I took
after.
it over here to Mark.
It sounds
last Friday.
It sounds like Mark gave it to you though.
Maybe, but my daughter and wife had it before both of us, and it was the exact same sickness.
I don't know how sicknesses work,
Yeah.
so
Apparently.
Yeah.
No, but it was so I learned that I'm a scrometer.
a scrometer.
I'm a screamer vomiter. Because my whole body
and then it goes.
my whole body tightens up as hard as it goes. And all the air goes out of my lungs.
Oh, isn't that the worst when
And
there's nothing
I'm
left
like-
in your stomach and it just like squeezes?
And it's 3 a.m. My wife's in the other room thinking, what the hell is going on in there? I'm like, It was one of the scariest things I've ever experienced in my life.
Oh man, that
Yeah,
that sucks.
Well, then afterwards, weren't you sitting there like, "Help me"?
Yeah. Oh, I was like, because you're so weak, you can't lift your hands. You're like, somebody just help me. Somebody. Is anybody out there?
Nobody
Help.
Oh man, yeah. It's no. So I think I'm good for the summer. I think I got that cleared out, and I can do whatever I want now. It's actually why I'm drinking a Powerade, trying to get the old vitamins back.
Get the electrolytes.
Yeah, trying to.
4 days later.
Yeah.
No, I'm telling you, you got to be cautious.
What happened was, so I got it on Tuesday. So it was like Tuesday morning because we played the new D&D game.
Maybe that's what made you sick.
Yeah.
There's a good chance it was that.
And then I got it like early that morning, and then Wednesday towards the evening I was feeling better, so I said, "Hey, I'll do the stream still." You know, because remember you came over.
Yep.
You probably got it from when you came over and took that green screen from me. So sorry. Anyway, and then I did the stream, and then it just came. It was just I don't know. It was a rough one.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, it was. There's points where you're just staring at the ceiling, exhausted, going, I can't do this anymore. Just take me out of this one. It was like it was pretty scary. But yeah, can you imagine just waking up at 4 a.m. hearing your loved one in the other room screaming at the top of their lungs?
A scrometer.
The scrometer.
So did your son not get it, Jordan?
No, did he? You know why? You know why? Because this is what happened. So he didn't get it. So last year, everybody knows with all the COVID stuff, everything was shut down, which includes our daycare that we send our kids to. Now, our son went to daycare the first 2 years of his life. He was sick every day. Like, he was just gone. You know what I mean? Ever since then, it took 2 years for his immune system just to build it up. Now he punches back anything. Like, he doesn't get sick. I'll tell you the story. I was sick, being sick, you know, and it actually scared me. I was there being sick, and you come back up, and my son is like right there next to me, and he says, "Hey, Dad, are you sick?" Like staring at me, and it was like, "Whoa."
He's just watching.
Yeah, he was. It was that was it. You're just like, "Whoa, what are you doing in
Where'd
here?"
you come from?
So no, anyway, that's why I think he got his 2 years of sickness, and now he's like immune to everything.
Let's talk about. Well, I'm glad you guys are feeling better.
Yeah, hopefully you don't get it. Although it's a fun one. I think you would. Yeah.
There are plenty of stories to be told with this sickness.
I get mad when I get sick. And I blame people.
Are you wait? What are they? So if Mark's a scrometer, are you a rageator? I don't know. Yeah,
I'm a angry ometer. Yeah, I do not like being sick.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the worst. Like the feeling of nausea. I hate nausea.
That's why Pepto-Bismol is one of my favorite medicines. God bless whoever invented that.
Sometimes scientists. Yeah. That's when you can say, yes, thank you, science.
Right there.
All right, let's talk. You guys talked about you both probably got sick from the new Dungeons and Dragons game.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that.
Yeah, no. So it came out on Tuesday.
How is it?
Game Pass.
Can we throw?
I'll pull it up.
Yeah, because I've not really experienced. I've seen some reviews. It's kind of getting hammered by reviews.
Well.
And I want to know if those reviews are true. So what reviews are saying is there's a lot of bugs that really make the game not enjoyable.
I can see that. So
yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah. Well, okay. This is the big part. This is my interpretation of the game because I was really excited for this game. So it came out Tuesday. It's on Game Pass. If you have Game Pass, it's worth a try because it's Game Pass. You know. So a lot of the systems and features they have in the game are really good. I like the collection of loot. I like the upgrading of loot. I like how you get loot. I like how the game is linear, but you can kind of go off the beaten path on these missions and find extra stuff that then will give you more loot or materials to upgrade your loot. When you go back to your camp, you have a merchant who you can upgrade your loot with different cards. All those systems are really, really good. What's hard for me is the combat feels odd.
Oh, really?
Janky.
Yeah. And I played as a melee character.
So,
I played as
Driss. Is that a mechanic or is it?
That's the thing you're trying to figure out.
Yeah.
Is this on purpose?
Because like Dark Souls is kind of janky, but it's not bad. It's like purposefully. Maybe janky is the wrong word there. They're like sluggish, I guess.
Well, that's actually what this problem is. It's every button you press is sometimes on a delay and sometimes not.
Interesting.
So there's like a 250 millisecond delay. When you jump, you don't know if you're jumping at the right moment, so you'll just walk off a cliff.
Well, because it looks beautiful. Like this game looks cool.
No, it does. It does. Yeah,
but no.
So I was playing with another friend of mine, and he actually put it best. I wrote it down because it made me laugh. Because this game is hard to articulate where it's going wrong, because it is going wrong a little bit. That said, I'm going to say that I like a lot of things that this game does, but he said it like this: this game is a good game if it was made 3 years ago. And it's true. Like I feel like this is a game that feels dated, but it's new. But I still kind of get nostalgia for this game, oddly.
Do you think it's a game with potential but poor execution then? Is that really what?
I can't figure this game out because it's fun, and I really like looking for loot. I think it has a great armor weapon system where you can upgrade it with
the mechanics
gems
of the game are really good. The features, the mechanics.
It feels like a traditional way to do that, and I like that. I feel like I'm enjoying myself when I'm trying to loot things and trying to do things. And they do the cool things in the level where you can either take a short rest and fill up all your potions and get your health back, or you can not do that and then up the rarity of all the items that drop. And so there's a risk reward that I think is a really cool way to do levels. This game, I think, was released a little early. And which is unfortunate because they do a lot of things really well, but some of the things feel like it was made 5 years ago.
Well, it's just the combat. The best way to put it is the combat doesn't really feel smooth. Like, it's not terrible, but there's just it's odd. That's the only way to describe it. Like,
well,
it's
it's
odd.
So describe what this game is for those people that don't know. This is a loot, first person or third person loot.
Yeah, it's a
repeat.
third person action RPG with loot.
With strike zones.
Yeah, with loot. That's what it is. It's just I like a lot of what the game is doing, and I think it's a good game for Game Pass. I mean, I think most games are good for Game Pass. I'm glad I got it on Game Pass rather than buying
Paying
it.
for it. Yeah, that would.
I will say that. For me, mostly, it's just that combat. For some reason, the combat doesn't feel like it has that final coat of polish on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well-
Whether it be like the input delay, even like I get that, like if you're locked into an animation, that's fine. Like Dark Souls locks you into animations, but it doesn't feel smooth when you're done with that animation trying to go to it's very odd. It's like your character is tunnel visioned. He can only attack in this direction, and then he has to stop and turn his whole body and then attack in that. It's very.
And I don't think it's on purpose.
Yeah.
Because I played as the range character, Kate,
Caddy.
Caddy,
Yeah.
Cat, Swanson,
Swanson.
Samsonite. I was way off. But for example, you hold left trigger in any game, and you'll pull back the bow.
Okay, yeah.
And you'll shoot when you pull the right trigger. Or in this, there's a heavy attack and a light attack. Right bumper versus right trigger. Randomly, sometimes she just lets go and stands there in the middle of combat when I'm still holding the left trigger. And it's not like there's a lot of accidental release on the left trigger that has to take place for that to happen.
Sure.
But it's still doing that anyways. And it's not a matter of me holding the right trigger to pull back the arrow. It's not a matter of maybe I'm losing stamina. It's not that. It's just combat has a couple of issues to deal with. Also, the thing I want to talk about is this is a co-op game. It's meant to be a co-op game to play with a party. That's what this game is built around. It's balanced around a party.
Yeah.
You have 4 characters, and you cannot be the same character in the party when you're going into. I'm going to call it a strike
everybody
zone.
has to be separate.
Has to be someone else. There's not a good matching. I mean, it's fun when you're playing with Jordan and you have a party of friends.
Sure.
It's easy to just get in. But I was trying to join matches by myself.
To get in with other players.
And instead of having a playlist like a Destiny would, where you say, I want to go play this zone, which I think is a smart way to do it. Instead, it puts you into someone else's base camp. And I sat there for 20 minutes, and then the guy logged off. Or it puts me into a party, and then it says, oh, someone's already this character. You can't play as this. You can't play this with these people because someone's already locked into that character. Why even put me into that game in the first place if somebody's already that character?
Yeah.
I think, obviously, fixing some of the odd, fighting button mapping, or not mapping, but button delays and all that is one thing. But to have an easy way to just join a playlist of games and just join in, and then you can group up later, I think is far superior than putting people into a base camp and then hoping that they're done talking to the merchant that's over in the corner for 20 minutes.
Yeah, it should load you. It should, like you said, you should just be able to pick a level and then do that level.
And then just join, which they don't have.
Yeah.
That, I'm sure, will come later, but it's things like that make me feel like this game was rushed.
Yeah, why isn't it here now? So we were actually thinking about it throughout the week because I played it a couple times. My 2 big main criticisms are combat feels odd, and then I do think AI is a bit stupid. And it's not just because you're like fighting goblins. Like they legitimately like if you shoot them from above, they'll just be like, "What the? Oh, okay,
Sure.
and, oh, what the?" Like, and they'll just it's just odd.
Yeah, and it's not a matter of difficulty. I played on a very hard map because you can change difficulty like in Diablo, where you can do like the Gates of Hell 5.0.
Yeah, because that's the idea of the game. Like you go
can-
higher,
sure.
higher.
Yeah, and so you can choose your level of difficulty. They act the same in every one. It's just they become bullet sponges.
well, see, and that's almost another thing. It feels
No
like
bullets, but
it feels like your difficulty is tied to your gear level, not your skill, which is fine. I
But
wish
that's-
I wish it was more of a mixture of the two. Like I wish
Yeah.
I needed this type of gear to get to that. Like let's say level 3, right? For example, takes. You need 10 gear score or whatever. We're just throwing out random numbers here. So you need 10 gear score. I would like level 3. I'd get 10 gear score. I go into level 3, but maybe I'd like the enemies to have a new attack. You know what I mean? Something that I have to, and just because like Mark said, you go on higher difficulties and they do the same thing, and it's just, and a lot of the time they're being stupid.
Yeah.
So you're kind of like, okay.
until you get to the boss, and then they one-shot you.
Well, and that's what it feels like. It feels like, and that's my gripe with like Sea of Thieves bosses, is I don't feel like. I feel like they're there to one-shot you. They're not like they don't have necessarily mechanics. They're just like the bosses in this game on the higher difficulties. It really does feel like it's just they just one-shot you now.
Yeah.
Like instead of adding new mechanics or making things more difficult or
course,
it's just
keep in mind that we haven't played every map on this game.
yeah, I guess that's fair. Yeah.
Because the game's still brand new.
yeah.
But like honestly, it's the best way to put it. Dark Alliance is a good game if it was made 3 years ago.
So, chat, we did drop a poll in chat. What grade would you give D&D Dark Alliance? Chat overwhelmingly said a C. This is ABDC. Overwhelmingly said C, 63%. 27% said D, and 9% said A. And I know some people have really enjoyed this. Captain Obvious actually wrote in and said, I'm enjoying D&D Dark Alliance. I play with my son and 2 brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And that seems, like you said, Spicy, when you're playing with Jordan, you have fun. And you can kind of... Is it the case that you can look past kind of some of the...
Well, and that's
Because you're playing with your friends and it's built for that.
Co-op games are always fun, even if they suck.
Well, because playing with your friends is half the experience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think this game, it's such a hard one to articulate because it's fun.
Yeah, no, it is.
That's
We enjoyed the levels we played, and like I said, I really enjoy the mechanics and the gear systems with the gear progression and the gear upgrades and how all the crystals and everything work. I think all those are really good. Crafting, I guess.
Yeah, and that's the thing. When we go back to games that we enjoyed as kids or even 10 years ago, the games are still fun. They just have bugs. And because we're so used to just gorgeous, just beautiful, smooth gameplay, that having a game feel like it's from 2005, which I guess was like 16 years ago, but having a game like that, it makes you still like the game because it's fun, but you're like, I didn't realize that there were so many bugs. I feel like this game is that. It's a fun game. Mm-hmm. It's a good fun game. But it just feels dated, right out of the gate. But I still enjoy it. So it's a weird thing to try to articulate. Yeah. And it's Dungeons and Dragons, and I like the lore of that.
Yeah, they nail the lore and the world, and it's
Yeah, it starts out with the Icewind Dale dragon.
Your quest to save it's basically the Cinnabon.
Yeah,
is what it's called. I don't know.
So David,
Shimon.
I don't know how to rate this game because it's fun, but it sucks. But it's fun. It doesn't suck, but it's fun.
There's just
if you're expecting a perfect game, this is not for you. Actually, I think this is a perfect game for Game Pass because you don't get upset that you wasted money on it. So you can just sit back and enjoy the game.
See,
I think
it's right. If I would have spent $60 or whatever it cost, I think there's 2 different versions. I probably would be more upset with it. But because I got to try it through Game Pass, it's I'm more lenient.
You just enjoyed it.
I can see myself coming back to this game several times after patches.
Yeah, I think No, I think you're right. I think I'll come back. One other thing that was pointed out to me this week, and you were there too, Mark. We were playing with another. It was my brother-in-law. He was excited to play with us too, and we found out beforehand that you had to be different characters. So we're like, okay, I'll be this guy. Mark's like, I just want to be a ranged character.
I love ranged characters.
And my brother-in-law was like, okay, well, I just want to be the wizard, the sorcerer. And we were like, oh,
okay,
there's no sorcerer. And he was like, how can you have a Dungeons and Dragons game with no sorcerer? And I actually was like, he's got a good point.
The man has a point.
And looking into it, it is. I don't know why they chose what they chose, and what they chose is fine. But there is 3 close range melee classes and 1 range class, so I don't know why Now that being said, the melee classes do feel different enough. I guess different enough to where you notice it's a little bit different style. You know what I mean? But I just don't know why they didn't split it 2 and 2, or why it went 3 melee, 3.
Even the range class, the entire skill tree is melee upgrades.
You think that's just they're going for that hack
It's
and
a
slash?
melee.
It's a melee game.
Yeah, it's
well,
a melee
and if that's
game.
the direction they're going for, then that's fine. I get that, but it would have been nice to see a little bit more character variety in the respect that, I mean, I know they're different. We got a Drog, a dwarf, a human. The daughter of the dwarf is an elf lady.
She's also a human.
Yeah. So I mean,
I don't know how the math works out there. But the daughter of the dwarf is human.
Yeah,
so.
I think she's adopted.
Yeah,
we were kind of talking. We were kind of talking during the cutscene. So, but I would have liked to see more variety, like with melee to range. Like it would have been nice to have the tank. This is what I would have done. This is just my opinion. I think you can get rid of the hammer guy. He's the big 2 wielding hammer. Mm-hmm. I think you go the dual wielding guy, the tank, a sorcerer, and then a ranged. I think that's So they are adding new characters down the road, and we may get them then. But it's just another thing I've been thinking about. Why not more variety here?
Psychotic in chat asks, could this be one of those games that are better on PC than on console? It doesn't translate well on console.
I don't think no.
I mean, I've seen lots of reviews.
It's not a matter of like the UI, although
even on reviews. So on reviews, they have what is it? Oh, why can't I think of this? Like when
they do a separate one for PC.
No, when you do your joystick and it like increases the speed for you.
Well,
What's that called?
Acceleration.
Yeah, I do know on PC they have mouse acceleration, and you can't turn it off.
Yeah, and you can't turn it off, and that was one of the big complaints.
Okay, and I'm just gonna say this out loud.
Out loud? Okay.
Yeah, instead of in your head.
And if
keep it to
people
yourself.
if people want to disagree with me, they can. That's fine. It's just my opinion, which is pretty darn close to fact. Mouse acceleration and controller acceleration
should be killed.
I know. Why are they there? And if you put them there, let's just say there's the one dude that's like, I really need mouse acceleration.
Well,
why
mouse
not give the
especially.
option?
When you can crank up the speed of your
mouse to me makes no sense.
Yeah, mouse doesn't make sense.
I think
well, controller makes no sense to me either, but at least you have a speck of an argument.
I think it exists because of prehistoric mice.
The ball?
The ball.
The ball
I think
mouse.
it actually.
There's a lot of ball gamers out there.
I could be wrong, but back in the 80s and 90s, when there was a ball on the bottom of the mouse, it's
the Dark Alliance developers.
Scrotumcito.
We are an inclusive. We want to be inclusive here. There's a lot of ball gamers out there, so we have for you guys.
No, well, it's just
we've
like-
included mouse acceleration.
I think it's existed since then, and it's never been it's never been removed from Windows, and so people have always gotten used to it.
Well, if Windows has it,
Well, because it was built into Windows
well,
for so long.
it's
It
just
still
like
is built into
it's
Windows.
just like the worst feature in Outriders is the fact that they locked me in to having that acceleration on my joystick. The thing is with modern games and how you can adjust sensitivity vertically, horizontally, the different. I mean, a lot of games have really good controller customization, and same with the keyboard. With all those sensitivity options, you don't need an acceleration option. And if you want an acceleration option, like the 3 people in the world that use it, you can just make it a feature to where you click it on and off.
They give you the option to utilize.
Personally,
it
I
on or
don't think
off.
you need it, and I think it's a terrible feature that they should. Just
Well,
get
it's
rid of.
because it's built into Windows, and so people have gotten used to it. It's like a long time ago when typewriters. I actually learned. When you took. Did you take typing class when you were in?
Yeah.
Like junior high.
Junior
or,
high, yeah.
middle school or whatever. They taught me to do double spaces after periods. Did they teach you that? You remember when you
No.
do a sentence, period,
No.
space.
No, mine was only one.
Okay.
But that would explain why so many people do double space. I've always wondered that.
The reason they do that is before keyboards, it was those typewriters like click, 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 ding, quick,
Yeah.
and the space wouldn't go far enough. And so you would double space on those keyboards. And so
it's archaic.
And so my teacher learned on those
The typewriters.
and so I was taught to do double spaces after periods.
Yeah, I've always wondered that because some people will like submit something or you're working on something and you're like, why is there double spaces all the time?
It's actually incorrect. I corrected myself in 2001, I believe,
job.
when I realized, I'm an idiot.
Way to self-correct.
Yeah.
Self-reflection.
And well, the reason I bring that up is there was a point in my life when I'm like, turn mouse acceleration off. It's ruining all my gaming. And so I did, and I got used to it. And now I have way more control, even when I'm just browsing a website or even when I'm, cruising through Windows.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, couldn't you, because of all the sensitivity options we have in a game, why do you need the acceleration?
Well, it's because there's an audience that has not, because it was built in so long ago and it is still it's default into Windows. An audience that has not gamed before is used to it, and so they want to keep that in games.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
And no offense to anybody that likes the acceleration stuff, I just don't.
Ryan Cardano,
it's
Duro, aka Ryan, says, I haven't played this game, but it looks and feels a bit like Lord of the Rings Shadow of Mordor / War, but without Nemesis. Is that a fair comparison?
I don't think I would compare. Maybe the art style looks like that. That's probably where he's
actually,
getting it.
yeah.
The art style feels like that, but it's not. I mean, that game was more open world, and the controls were tight.
No acceleration.
There's no acceleration. This is like, think of how you play these maps. Is you can't just go outside your base. These are like strike zones in Destiny, where you go to a map in your home HQ. And you say, I want to play this zone. And then you go and you load into this zone. It has a start, a middle, and an end with a boss. Just like a Destiny game would. So it's like I would consider it more of a Destiny, but not even close to a Destiny at the same time. It's not, I think the art style is where it's at.
Vermintide?
No, because Vermintide's more Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, this is not
okay.
Left 4 Dead.
Okay.
It's... This game, David, is Dark Alliance. It has its own thing.
Yeah.
It honestly, I get like nostalgia playing it for no reason at all because it feels like the controls are from 2005. That's
and it's just, I mean, it's nice that it's on Game Pass because you can always pick it up and play it and go from there. But it's just, I think you're right, Mark. It just seems like another few months or so tightening up the controls. I think this game could have had a much better.
But having
better
said
launch.
that, you guys still had fun.
Yeah, no, I mean,
I enjoyed it.
I don't want to knock it. I actually think chat's review on it, I'd give it like a. I think C is fair.
fair
I think you
score.
can argue a C plus maybe.
if you paid for it, it's a D.
yeah. See, and that's, yeah. So that's. But yeah.
Well,
anyway.
thank you, Captain Obvious, also for writing in that question today.
It's so weird to talk about this game because I enjoy it, but it's odd.
Yeah, it's just there's no.
You can't figure out why things are
Like
working.
at least the combat. Like I don't know. It feels like it's almost still in development.
That's
and I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm specifically talking about the combat because the combat is where it gets jarring for me.
It's so hard to figure out a game like this because we want to be fair to you guys that are listening. Should I play it? Should I buy it? I enjoy this game, but at some point you got to address that the controls are terrible. Like there has issues, but at the same time I like the game. I don't know how to be fair with this review.
Where I would put this game, because I'm the same as Mark. If you had to purchase it, I would hold off. If you have it on Game Pass, then go ahead and play it.
There you go.
With friends.
Yeah, with friends. I think this game is designed for friends.
I think that's fair. We did bring up Windows and how during this discussion. So let's talk Windows.
Numero
because
11.
Windows 11 was announced this week, and with it, and this is the first time I think that we can ever say this as an Xbox community. Windows 11 actually matters. Windows actually matters for Xbox. So the Windows 11 was actually really interesting.
Yeah.
To find out what is in it, or what is going to be included in Windows 11, what it means for Xbox, and Sarah Bond. So much so that Sarah Bond was presenting during the presentation.
Well, I mean, didn't they have Phil Spencer's?
Did you have to say it like that?
Well, remember at the last Windows thing, didn't they have Phil Spencer's Steam account
Yeah,
in the
that's
background?
right, that's right.
Like, we gotta get someone that knows what they're talking about.
That's right. So some of the things coming to Windows 11: auto HDR, built in, NVSMe SSD drives, hardware support. Sorry, is in there. That's just that next generation. Speed. That's what the Xbox Series X has. Digital. What is it? Digital saves. Digital
Cloud saving.
cloud saving basically is built in to the Game Pass there.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jordan.
Oh,
You
no,
feel like you
no,
wanna
I
say
was,
something.
no, I was just.
You're doing great, David. Keep going.
Yeah.
You're doing
There's
great.
a few things I worry about.
And then also the ability to use xCloud, stream games through the Xbox app that is built into Windows 11.
Yeah.
Things you worry about, Jordan. So overall, I'll give you my opinion. I did a video on this week.
It was a good video.
I think this is the strategy of Xbox. They nail this. If you look, it was what is it? Produce. I can't remember.
Stay productive.
Stay productive, connect, and play, which is huge for gaming.
Yeah.
I mean, like that is Windows. One of the tenets of the Windows 11 is to game.
So do you have a list? So I missed a lot of the announcements for this. I've been busy all week, but do you have a list of like any features, or is it just, do we know a lot of what we're going to get,
Well,
or is it just stay productive?
There's one feature
play.
I'm worried about.
What? Okay, let's start with that. What?
I'm just gonna say it bluntly. This is the only way to say it. They're going to widget the hell out of you.
Oh yeah,
It's like holy cow.
no, there are widgets. It supports Android apps.
Yeah.
Does it really?
Yeah, so you can get apps on your Windows now.
Now, hopefully, it allows you to turn a lot of that stuff off, and I really hope that they don't keep putting out updates that tries to cram everything on my desktop into the bottom right corner of my screen. The last Windows update kind of did that, and it was a little bit frustrating. But
What, you don't want to know about the weather? Isn't that important to you?
yeah, the heat warning. I know I live here. Like just like,
That's what's so funny about the last update for me. Like it covers everything. Here's the weather. Oh, okay. Thanks, man.
So anyway, no, the other thing I think it looks cool, and obviously they're showing us how it's. I mean, it looks like the next iteration of Windows. The only thing is, I don't know why they're shifting everything over to the middle. Do you think they're trying to just be more Mac focused?
It's very
Mac,
Apple-esque,
yeah.
that
All the
bottom
stuff is shifted to the middle.
on the taskbar.
Oh, instead of having it like on the left,
the
and
left,
the
Yeah,
bottom
yeah.
which
left.
doesn't necessarily bother me, as long as I can still put all my stuff that I want on my taskbar. I just don't know why a design change for that. The only thing I worry about is they did focus on widgets and apps. I hope it doesn't turn into what Windows 8 turned into, where it was like this Windows is like perfect for touch devices, and then it just kind of left
Well,
the desktop behind.
They
You
forgot.
know what I mean?
They forgot that people have PCs.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
On
I don't
Windows
want
8.
them to. It doesn't look like that's what's going to happen here, but with all the widget talk and stuff. Sorry, guys, I think I just spit all over my mic.
Oh, I
With all-
forgive you.
With all the widget stuff, it just seems like, how much RAM are you going to be using? Are you?
Well,
are
but,
you gonna Vista me?
Create, connect, play. There you go. Create, connect, play is the three pillars, and play. So play being one of the pillars. I don't really care about the design or anything. I care about from a gaming perspective. It's really interesting to me. Direct storage is what they're calling it, and that's exclusive on Windows 11, allowing high performance NVMe SSDs to load games faster, ensuring you can experience, detailed gaming worlds instantly without the long loading times. That's what the Xbox Series X is. So they're taking Xbox Series X hardware parameters and enabling it into the software.
Let's be fair. It was originally PC hardware
Yeah.
that they
Yeah,
brought
yeah.
into Xbox that they're bringing back into Windows.
yeah.
Let's be fair.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. They're updating Windows to make it more gaming friendly.
No, which
Correct?
is good. And like I said, I think there's a lot of stuff that they're doing that is cool. I worry about, I don't know.
well, it is
system requirement, like how, like first of all, if they give me the customization to do what I want, like I'm not a big fan of widgets, and I don't need the weather on my desktop. Like I usually turn all that stuff off, and if they give me all the customization
Or the
tool-
notepad.
if they If they give me all the customization tools I at least have now in Windows 10, then I'll be fine. If I can turn a lot of this stuff off that I don't want, like widgets, for example, or whatever,
Well, Microsoft is notorious for giving you all the controls you want as long as you buy the Ultimate
Enterprise.
Edition,
Yeah,
the
the
Enterprise Edition.
Well, they got rid of those.
Well, did they talk about pricing? Is this going to be another free upgrade like Windows 10 was, or are they going to come out
I'm
and get
sure
us?
because they don't want to lose anybody.
They don't want to lose
Yeah.
people. Yeah, this
But-
is a different strategy.
Here's the thing, though. You know how Windows has an off season where they like build their
Yeah.
team.
Is this the
This
off-season?
is the off season. Like historically, this would be the off season.
Yeah, because we went 8, we skipped 9 because they needed some type of joke in their
They went to
keynote
10.
address,
Well,
I mean,
and then we
it's-
went to 10.
I think we went from XP, which I think is one of the greatest operating systems ever, to was it there to Vista?
It was Vista.
Oh gosh, that
Yeah.
that
Vista basically
It was a
took
hog.
basically
and
took
then
an upgraded computer from XP and made an upgraded computer irrelevant.
and then we went to Windows 7, which was like, oh, thank goodness, it's Windows XP, just prettier.
Just modernized.
And then we went to then we go to Windows 8, which is
And don't forget 8.1, which
Yeah.
made it better, but it was still not.
It's the off
there.
season.
Yeah.
So like it really is. You have your Super Bowl teams, every other year. This is what scares me. Jordan actually has legitimate scares. We're on the off season of Windows. So this is when they're going to build their team.
The only thing, and I worried about this with Windows 10 because of the issues with Windows 8 and Vista and stuff, right? The only thing I worried about now, with their tagline and them having Xbox front and center, I'm hoping it doesn't, use your computer like Google Chrome uses your computer. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Just like
I
a
know what you
resource
mean.
hog.
Resource
And
hog.
that's where I worry about, like, okay, we have the transparency bars, we have all this, we have we have all these widgets now, and this, how much resources of my computer are you going to use?
So you're speaking like an editor. That's how I feel. I
mean,
have to unbloat Windows.
Well, the thing is like, I'd rather have an extra 20 FPS than know what's going on in Russia. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
On my widget on the left here, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just from a gamer perspective, I would just like to know
He's min-maxing his hardware.
exactly, right? Like, I don't like, for example, if you want to pause right here,
Yeah, it's widget.
sorry.
widgets. I don't need to know what happened on this day. I don't care. You know what I mean? Every day that's important is generally a holiday. So I don't care what happened on this day 53 years ago with some dude who, discovered an
here's-
island. I don't know. It's just, I don't care.
So here's the thing. I think,
Alexa does that to me.
I think those are all coming
Oh,
because
she just piped up.
because, like you said, they're trying to merge into one operating system. Apple's kind of doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Windows is trying to do it with their Surface so that it's seamless. This tablet experience is seamless as well in the Windows operating system. It doesn't look like Windows 8 when they tried to do that with Windows 8.
Where it was a
Yeah,
phone.
no, yeah,
Where it was
It was a
basically
phone
a
on
phone.
a
Well, see, no, and
32-inch screen.
Yeah,
And
this looks like they've learned, and Apple has learned as well, and they're now merging it correctly.
And maybe I used the wrong words when I said I was worried because of what Windows 8 did. I just, every time a new like right now we're in a happy period. Like everything's working, it's good.
Don't mess up.
Yeah, you
Until
know what I
an
mean? Like,
update
yeah,
comes.
yeah, and then you're just kind of like, okay, it's just every time something new comes, you just get. It's not that I'm against change. I just don't want them to change the wrong things.
No, Jordan's.
you know?
I agree with Jordan 100%. The reason I think that XP was one of the greatest operating systems ever is because it was lightweight.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't trying to, do everything. Have toast built in the next room over, shower me, do everything. Like, it wasn't trying to do a million things all at the same time, hogging down all my resources. It was just a lightweight operating system. When I wanted to load a program or 2 or 3, I would do that, and then I would close those programs. It's now getting to the point again where, and when they try to go away from that, that's when things get hogged down. That's when, why is my video taking so long to render? Oh, a Windows update is running in the background, or all that stuff. I am a fan of lightweight, anti-bloatware operating system, and I hope we don't go away from that.
Yeah, no, that's
Even with more hardware power that we have today, I still want 100% of that hardware doing it what I want,
See,
not with something in the background
and
that
I-
I don't.
Oh, sorry. Well, I was going to say, and I don't want that to be like the excuse on the Windows side, like, oh, well, it's more powerful hardware, so we can do more things. Like, no.
Whoa, calm down, Turbo.
Yeah. Give me I like what I'm seeing. To be honest, I was like the first thing I saw when I saw the taskbar moved over, I was like, oh, it's very Mac-ish. And then I was like,
no,
well,
that's exactly what I
kinda
thought.
like
they're
it,
going with the
you
Mac
know?
taskbar there.
But no, I don't really have anything against Windows 11. I mean, obviously, it was inevitable that we were going to get some type of new big update, whether it be like 10 2.0 or 11. I just
So what?
I just worry about new things.
XP,
you know?
I love Psychotic in chat. XP was the USC of operating systems.
So
That's funny.
they did. Let's focus now on gaming.
Yeah.
Of the part of it. Okay.
Game Pass, built in, Windows 11, as well as xCloud built into that app.
So when you say built in, what do you
Isn't
mean?
it technically built into Windows 10?
I mean, I mean built in, but not built in from day one. This is built in from day one. So that was added.
It wasn't
afterwards.
patched in.
Yeah, it wasn't patched in.
Which
We patched it.
may be better for gamers because now it's more optimized for your system. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all I'm looking for.
It would be hilarious if with Windows 11 they say Steam cannot work on our system.
That probably is gonna. That would be funny.
Epic Games.
Do you think there'd be
launcher?
there'd be totally be a lawsuit?
No, you couldn't do it. Yeah, well, yeah, I don't think you could do it anyways. And I actually think there's already statements coming out that Windows has said, yes, we of course Steam come to Windows 11. Everybody, we want you to be on Windows 11.
I think Windows has learned they always have you right click on it and you run as you can run it
Admin.
not
As
an
administrator?
admin, but it has I mean, I can do it on the PC right here, but it lets you pretend that the software was on a different system. We can run software as if it was XP.
Sure.
So they have a fallback safety device. I think it's probably to prevent lawsuits.
What's interesting to me is going to be how they market this, because I think bringing up Steam, to get Game Pass successful on PC in a big way, you're ultimately competing with Steam. Mm-hmm. And Steam right now, even still, as Game Pass players, when we think of our PC games, we think of Steam. That's our first place we go to. That's where our library is held and what we look through. We don't think of, I'm going to go to the Xbox app and see the games there.
Sure. Yeah.
And so is this an opportunity for them to take that? Perhaps. But I think it's going to be interesting to see how
I
they
don't
do
think
it.
you can. Steam has to really screw up bad. The problem is, that's not necessarily a problem. It could be, depending on your perspective. I have, personally, I think 300 games on Steam in my library. How do I lateral over to something else when I have such an amalgamation of games that I have curated over the years? I am in Steam's ecosystem because Steam came first.
Maybe Xbox buys Valve next.
Yeah.
How much do you think that would be?
Well, we
I
do
don't know. A lot of
know
money.
what's his name? Gabe? Is he the head of what's his name? Gabe something?
I know who you're talking about.
He likes Xbox right now. He thinks they're very player focused, which is what he likes.
Yeah.
Remember that interview on the Australian show? He was like, it's just better.
This is better, guys.
And they were like, well, what do you mean?
Anyways, Windows 11, guys, is here. It's going to be interesting to see.
Did we get a release date for this? Are we looking next year? Or?
I don't know what the release date is.
Yeah, because I didn't see a release date. The only thing I saw was this trailer right here. I didn't,
I'm curious, is there any other features that we know about? So when you say it comes built in with Game Pass,
Day one.
What do you mean by that? What is that?
Just that it's included in the operating system and that xCloud is going to be within that app.
Okay, so when I hit Windows G,
Yeah.
they're just like I kind of can now.
Yeah.
Correct,
Okay.
yeah.
Do you think the Xbox team is just developing Windows now?
I mean,
They
I
just
think it
kinda-
does show
why don't we
you
just let them do
how
it?
positive, and I mentioned that in the video, guys. If you didn't know, we do YouTube videos every single day where we talk about the news. Go check it out. Subscribe to us, youtube.com/XoneBros. And we talked about this. I actually reacted to this on video, and what I think is interesting is right here, the fact Xbox Game Pass, the fact that Xbox is this positive brand for them. I mean,
yeah.
this is a good what, 15% of the Windows 11 show off is
it's just Master
gaming
Chief
centric.
Yeah. Well, and they're very specific with their words. They said unrivaled gaming experience, which makes me think there's stuff on the it's optimized, right? And that's really all I want.
Yeah. However, I do
optimized
think. Can we
operating
rewind
system.
this trailer here real quick? So if you just go watch introducing Windows 11, okay, right? Watch this. So I do think what's interesting is their choice of when they show off the games. They show a kid sitting at a computer, playing his game on the computer with a controller. And he's playing Flight Simulator, clearly, but with a controller, which I think is specifically done to denote this is Xbox on PC.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Because if it was just PC, you'd have him playing with a mouse.
You'd have him playing with a yoke.
You'd have him playing with, let's be honest.
with a ball mouse.
With a yoke. Here it is. Watch. So, unrivaled gaming experience, DirectX 12 Ultimate, Auto HDR, Xbox Game Pass, sold separately.
Yeah.
And right here, so there she's playing Halo
Okay.
on PC.
Okay,
Very
good.
good. She's clearly streaming. That's clearly a streamer.
I don't think she's really playing.
And then right here, this next gaming shot is going to go to. It shows a kid sitting in front of his PC. Right. Wait for it.
I'm trying. My sister.
Right there. And he's playing at his PC with two giant ass speakers
I know.
And his
And he has
headset. And his
headphones.
headset in.
and his headset in and an Xbox controller. And this was specific to say Xbox. This is Xbox on your PC.
I like how he's got his like Snapple to the side too, just to maintain
It
his
is a Snapple.
electrolyte.
That is a
And
Snapple,
he
yeah.
is using that Bluetooth feature within the new Xbox controllers.
That he is.
Got to keep those electrolytes going.
Having said that, we don't even see a tower anywhere. This could be his Series X.
Or it could be a standalone PC.
Could be a standalone PC. That's
He's
true.
just using that monitor.
Just using the monitor.
Can we zoom in on that controller to see what version it is?
Anyways, Windows 11, very, very fun, very exciting. It matters for Xbox. It matters for gaming, which is really interesting. First time ever. So it's kind of a
So it's
historic
going to be
occasion.
interesting to see what happens with it. I'm excited to learn more and see the tests that people run.
Yeah, Marshall Reyes writes in and asks us about Scarlet Nexus.
Oh.
He says, are you guys going to play Scarlet Nexus? I think it came out today. Before the show, Marshall, we actually watched the trailer in the pre-show. So for those of you that don't know, we record this live over on YouTube on Fridays. And we do a pre-show before where we look at some of the trailers. We talk about some things that are sent to us via cell phone and have a good joke fun time.
Joke fun time.
But we did watch Scarlet Nexus, the trailer, and it looks
Good.
like everything I want to play. So short answer, I'm going to play it.
I'm playing it tonight.
Jordan playing tonight. Boom. There you go.
Cool. I guess I'll play. I mean, I don't want to be left out.
Describe it, Jordan. I think you described it the best.
It's an anime action RPG with a little bit of Dark Souls thrown in there.
Oh, and a badass rock
Yeah,
song in
yeah.
the trailer.
I'm trying to find actual gameplay. We're in like a cutscene for an hour here. Okay, there we go. There.
It's getting really high reviews everywhere. It's getting 8s, 9s, 4 out of 5s, 8 out of 10s, 9 out of 10s. So it's reviewing really well.
Yeah.
And it looks like everything you want in a game, including drones that take pictures of you. So Marshall Ray, short answer, yes, we are all going to play this game, and we're very excited too. So stay tuned next week. We'll probably have a first impression review of the game, and it should be good. We did get another question about Sea of Thieves.
Oh, yeah.
Psychotic writes in and says, what's going on, bros? It's only a few days old, but what are your thoughts on the new Sea of Thieves updates? He says, I'm enjoying it, but I've heard others say that the glitches are making it hard to enjoy. What have you experienced so far? And thank you for all you do.
I think it's really well done. There are glitches and stuff, but I would compare it to the anniversary update that kind of brought a lot of new features in. I think this is comparable to that update, the anniversary update. The tall tales are really cool. Each tall tale has tons of side stuff that you have to discover on your own. Like, the game doesn't even tell you about stuff. And you have to go in and discover stuff on your own. On stream on Wednesday, I was actually replaying the first Tall Tale to find all the journals. And then we started exploring. We found some hidden stuff that's not even there, or that's not even, that is not told to you. Just complete stuff on the side that you have to figure out on your own. I feel like they learned a lot with their first set of Tall Tales, and this is kind of the new version of Tall Tales going forward. There's the story of the Tall Tale, and then all that extra content, and that's just the first one. There's extra content in all of them. But no, it's really well done.
Have you found Jack Sparrow?
Yeah, you find him in fairly quickly.
Okay. And
So-
how is that implementation? Does it feel forced, or is it actually legitimately
No, it's
good and
it's
interesting?
it's pretty cool to see him. You're excited that he's there. He helps you fight in let's just talk about the first mission, because I'm sure a lot of people played the first mission. He helps you fight in the first mission. You meet him. You see the Flying Dutchman, so you get that nostalgia of like Pirates of the Caribbean. The first mission is actually really cool. It starts out with you going through the portal, and you remember, I think it was in at World's End, all the boats of the dead people like sailing by you on the rowboats, which is really cool, and the atmosphere they've nailed is excellent. The levels, like, look at this. We're watching this is Mission 1, Tall Tale 1. Just look at the difference in level. Like, I feel like I'm in a different location, and that's one of the hard things about Sea of Thieves when you've been playing so long.
Every island feels
every island feels the same. You know, so it's nice to have these new fleshed out locations. I love the art style they went with it's basically Pirates of the Caribbean, that kind of colonial old style look.
Yeah.
I feel in these ones like I'm going on an adventure, and the adventures are they're very diverse. Like this first one, we go to an island and we go to a city of shipwrecks, and you get to see all this different stuff. In the second one, we swim under. It's entirely underwater.
Wow,
which is really really cool. They flushed out this new zone underwater, which is really fun. I think that's the part where a lot of people are having their glitches.
Underwater?
That particular mission. I know there.
Did you have some glitches?
Oh yeah, definitely. In Mission 2, it was tough.
Did it make you mad?
It did. Because it's not like you can necessarily speed run these things, you know.
Yeah.
So it does get frustrating. But that being said, glitches aside, which I completely trust Rare to fix them in a
I just realized
timely
this
manner.
dude has an Ori.
Yeah, he's got
sail.
the Ori
That's
Ori
hilarious.
sail. But I think this is a really well done update, minus glitches. I mean, unfortunately, they're there, and hopefully Rare fixes them as soon as possible. But I compare this to the anniversary update in its scope because I feel like it added a lot of good stuff. Like I said, when I go on these Tall Tales, these ones in particular, I actually feel like I'm going on an adventure.
Yeah, that's good.
And there's a lot of the original Tall Tales. It was almost hit and miss. You know, I was like, oh, this one was kind of boring. This one was cool. This one, you know, so it was hit and miss. But
this feels next level.
No, it does, and I hope they do more like this. Like I bought the season pass this time around because I like what they're doing.
So
and I mean, the season pass actually kind of sucks, but I like what they're doing, so I want to support them, and I hope they do more like this. Like, I would love it if they did. I mean, yeah, they're doing Pirates of the Caribbean right now. What if in the next one they do like I don't know, Blackbeard's Revenge or something? You know, do other cool famous pirates, or you know.
Is there another movie theme that they could go with?
Treasure Island.
Treasure Island, yeah. But Goonies? Could you go Goonies?
Goonies. You probably could.
Yeah.
Rocky Road.
Interesting. Brother Buddha writes in with a super chat. He says, have you guys tried Splitgate on PC? Never heard of it until the console reveal. I've been playing lately, and I'm hooked. Thank you very much for the super chat, Brother Buddha. Splitgate I've not played. I've heard of it, but I've not played it. Jordan, have you ever played Splitgate?
No, I have not.
Oh, man, no. We'll have to try it out.
David's in his leaning back phase.
You will have to try it. It's been a long week.
He is relaxed.
Yeah.
He's in his leaning back phase.
Yeah. No, Brother Buddha, thank you for the super chat. We'll have to check that out. Is that on Game Pass, Brother Buddha? Let us know.
But all in all, I'm really happy with this update. I hope they do more stories like this, like because there's 5 Tall Tales that comes with this. So maybe, I don't know how long it took them to make this or what this entails work wise, but having just like a group of these Tall Tales that maybe take place in different, you know. Like this is obviously Pirates of the Caribbean themed. I would love to see like a Blackbeard one, or even more of the Ferry of the Damned stuff, because I think that stuff's interesting. But I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's tons of legendary pirates throughout the world that you can add into your story and do whatever you want. But this gets an A for me. I really enjoyed what they did with this update, and I'm having a lot of fun with it.
Cool. Yeah. I hope they do more of it because let's give credit, and we've said this before. Rare's doing a good job.
Yeah, minus their boss fights are still.
Oh, really? They're still
they're more
health
creative, but I wish they were just more. I mean, you guys know me. I like raids, and this goes for like most games. I like raids that are mechanic intensive, right? I know a lot of people don't like that, but like Destiny, one of my favorite raids is
Coronavirus.
Yeah, coronavirus. No. King's Fall.
Okay.
Remember that raid where we go and do the Taken King? I love that raid because of the amount of mechanics there were per fight. I mean, remember you there was a lot of anger going on when we had to jump on those little discs.
I couldn't do it. I struggled
We
jumping.
sat there and waited for David for I think an hour and a half.
I struggled jumping.
No, but each boss fight had like a set of mechanics, and I know a lot of people don't like mechanic intensive. Like they don't like all mechanic intensive fights. So that's more just kind of my style. But there's a cool scene where you fight a search and see monster in this game that you've fought in before, but you actually kind of get to see it full face, and it's just shoot it until it goes away. You know what I mean? I wish it would have been. Yeah, he does like this this spitty thing or bite that I'm pretty positive you can't dodge, which is also kind of frustrating. But it just, I wish they would be a little bit more creative. My criticism would, I wish they'd be a little bit more creative with their bosses.
So
mechanic wise,
what tall tale are you on?
I think we're on 4 now.
Oh, so
3.
Psychotic says, "Have you done the 4th tall tale, Jordan? There's a lot of puzzle solving and mechanics in that one."
Yeah, no. So we're on the 4th one.
So I think Jordan's talking about boss fights.
Yeah, boss
in
fights.
specifically
boss fights. For example, and I'll just say it, the Kraken boss fight in Tall Tale 2. It was really cool that we got to see the Kraken, and it's kind of scary looking.
And he was unleashed.
Ugh.
But it seemed more. It just seemed like the Ashen Captains or what. It's just a damage sponge to me. It doesn't feel like there's any creative mechanic. Same with the very end boss fight of that Tall Tale, the Siren Queen. You just pick up the new Harry Potter blaster wand that you get, and you just DPS her and just try
away.
and not.
So one thing we're watching here, some gameplay of Sea of Thieves with this new update, and I'll tell you what they've improved. I see what you mean about the islands here.
Oh yeah,
just looking at this island
atmosphere.
It makes you want to explore it, where previously
it was all the same.
It really was. It was just different variations of the same assets on islands. There was not this exploratory wonder to it, but this level alone, it has like, oh, I want to know what's over there. What's over there? Why is that on there? What's this? It's cool. That's very cool. Clearly, they're singing "Yo ho, yo ho."
Yeah. No, but the Tall Tales, they do really good. There's like jumping puzzles. There's regular puzzles that are a lot of fun. Things you got to figure out, find different items. So all that's fine. Like I said, and I mean, I haven't played all the way through the 4th Tall Tale yet. That's the one we're currently on.
Wait, and how many are there?
5.
5. Okay.
So I've actually, it's one of those things where the person I've been playing with, which is usually Barbara Blake, it's like I went back and redid that first one just to find all that stuff that's hidden off to the side, you know. So it's actually been.
That is cool.
You ever get that feeling when you're like, you don't feel like you need to rush through the game to have a good time?
Yeah, that's what. That's what I'm getting from this vibe. I feel like you're rewarded by exploring.
Yeah, and it feels fun. I don't feel like I need to rush through it to get the story. Like I'm enjoying every part of it. Minus like
it's about the journey, not about the destination.
Of course, there is some shit.
Journey before destination.
There is some particular bugs. The second one was rather frustrating for my group with some of the bugs that we got. And like I said, we'll have to see how the 4th one goes when I play it later this week or this weekend.
So what I think is cool is if you 100% all the Tall Tales, you get the Yo Ho Shanty.
Yo Ho Shanty.
Yo ho, the pirate's life for me.
Well, what's really cool is I think, and I may be wrong because I haven't been on the ride for a long time, but I think they're using the voices from the ride. In some
that's cool.
Stuff. Yeah,
that's cool.
I think in this update they've created a very good atmosphere.
I do want to take a minute because Brother Buddha, Big Buddha, Brother Buddha brought it up. Spicy, you do have. So I looked it up here. You do have to look up Splitgate, this game.
Yeah.
And we need to pull up a trailer for it because it's free to play. It just launched. It is. Are you ready for this? Halo, combined with Portal. They had a baby. You get Splitgate.
They had a baby come out and they named it Splitgate.
They named it Splitgate, and that's what this game is.
I'm gonna do the one that was 2 weeks ago. Is this
there we go. So let's see. You see, it's a team deathmatch, where it's arena team deathmatch at that, and you've got portal abilities. How
that looks
cool
great.
is that?
Do you know how mad you're gonna get?
You're gonna
shot
get
in the
so
back?
pissed.
Do you know what's so funny? This is actually what Call of Duty wanted with their spawn system.
They just added it in.
But they said, hey, why fix the spawn system? Let's add a portal.
Let's add a mechanic so they can't get mad.
Look at that. Oh, how cool is that?
That's so cool. Hey, yeah, that's pretty interesting. What a way to have a different take on a shooter.
And it is free to play.
That looks pretty good.
Nice. Very nice. Yeah, that does look cool.
So what we're watching, everybody, is we're watching.
It really does look like Halo.
We're watching Halo.
Especially the sniping.
And you can set up portals to flank people. So you shoot your left arm, wrist,
is Portal.
Is a portal,
action.
and you shoot behind them and then flank them
So
and piss them off.
I feel like this is just going to be in Halo.
Yeah, this will be like a
even,
game variant.
Look at even the guns at the top. It's very Halo-esque, and the
I
kill
think I even saw
streak-
the UNSC symbol on the ground.
Yeah, what is happening here? What is this?
Yeah, now he's got the rocket launcher. That's so funny.
Yeah, there it is. Do you see that? It's like
This
like
was
a-
clearly created in the Forge.
yeah, it was great.
Look at the headshot.
This is the new.
Look at the headshot
yeah, this is the
tag.
new Griff ball.
Yeah.
Well, it even says killing spree. Well, I guess.
Oh,
that's an
Brother
evergreen,
Brutus
but-
says 343 devs are on this team. That's why.
Oh.
Interesting. Very
Oh.
interesting. Triple kill. What do they have that? Anyways, it looks cool. It looks cool, everybody. Go check it out if
Yeah.
you haven't.
No scope.
You want to know what I'm going to do this weekend, by the way? Someone asked earlier, what are you guys going to do the weekend? I think during the pre-show. Any plans for the weekend?
Play games?
I am putting RetroArch on my Xbox Series S. It's an emulator, and I'll have every single PlayStation game.
Oh yeah, I've seen that because you have to go into dev mode.
Because you can go in dev mode now, and the Series S is like built for it, basically, because it's got low memory anyways.
Yeah, and Microsoft
and it's your
supports it.
secondary console, and Microsoft supports
Well,
it.
they
What?
support it.
Wait,
Well,
what
they
is this?
basically say, yeah, you can go into dev mode. We don't know what you're doing when you're
Whenever
in
you
there.
want in dev mode.
Yeah, whoa.
And so I was watching a video on it this morning, and I'm like, I'm doing this weekend. And it's been around for a while. I just haven't looked at it. And I think Reckham might have done it already, because I know when it first came out, he was asking questions about it, doing it. But my big thing is I want to play Super Smash from
Oh,
the
yeah.
GameCube on there. But you can get every single Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, GameCube, PlayStation 1, 2, the PSP.
It's basically the new version of the old like
Modded boxes?
Mod
Yeah.
box, yeah, on the Series S, and you can upgrade the graphics even on them. A lot of them will come with upgraded shaders that you can turn on and off, stuff like that. So I'm doing that on my Series
I
S,
think-
and it's funny when you watch them play. You're playing, and then they hit the jewel button, and bloop, you're back out to the home
Yeah.
screen. You just go over. It's hilarious.
You know when the like FBI hits your
So
door for
if
copyright.
we
and stuff,
all
you just-
have one of these mod boxes, and we want to do Super Smash, we're able to do it via party chat on Xbox Live.
yeah. Wait, can we get Nintendo Switch games on there?
Wait, but how do we
And just
play?
do party chat.
Eventually, that would be cool.
How do we? We'd have to do it as a LAN though, right? They don't allow internet gaming through that, do they?
No, because it's you're playing your game. No, you can do it. Do they? Wait, do they?
No. See,
Yeah,
What I was watching, he was playing with his friends, and I just assumed
you
that
just
it was
skipped
online.
phase 2.
Yeah. I assumed it
you
was
said
online.
phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, profit. Phase 2 is important because that allows you to connect to your friends.
Did GameCube let you play online? It
No.
did.
No, I don't think it did.
I think it had that feature.
I don't
no.
think it did. That was
Was
like
Super Smash?
no.
No,
That was
that's-
Super Smash Melee.
That was
which,
it had,
Oh,
it
you're
had
right,
a handle
you're right,
that
you're
you
right.
could.
yeah,
You're right, you guys are right.
specifically
So we'd have to
carry
play
over to
LAN.
your friend's house.
But maybe we can do it internet-wise. Anyways,
You missed
regardless.
phase 2.
Regardless.
would you be able to do it internet?
The other one I'm looking forward to is Pokemon.
Of
All the Pokemons.
know,
You can play all the Pokemons. I want to get
certain
Pokemon.
things.
What Xbox should do is
You'd have to use GameSpy. Remember
Yeah,
that
that's
program?
well. I mean, like, would we have to turn on our VPN when
Yeah.
we played on the?
GameSpy still a
like-
thing?
It probably is. They probably do some They probably have some service, but it's not probably what it once was. I meant.
Well, because that was probably like the first blockbuster that went out with internet, with game Xbox Live.
Yeah.
Xbox Live was the Netflix to blockbuster. Yeah. Anyways,
Anyways, that's what I'm doing with my Series S. I cannot wait.
gameplay looks
If it's
exact-
successful, we should all do it.
Well, yeah, I think you're right.
All right. Hey, we do have a question before we get out here. Let's get to an important question. You guys might not know this. I didn't actually know it until Rocket 4 brought it to my attention. Rocket 4 writes in and says, "What's up, bros?" He says, "I've been eagerly awaiting the day that I level up to the XoneBros 1-year member badge here on YouTube. And today marks 11 months and 30 days.
Ooh,
wow.
Hard to believe it's already been a year since you guys made the move to YouTube. While there are aspects of Mixer I miss, I think YouTube was the right move for you guys. On this anniversary, are there any reflections or thoughts that you'd like to share? Always enjoy listening to you fellas. Cheers from Atlanta."
Rocket 4.
Rocket 4, I'm happy that you said you feel like it was the right move for us, because I think it was the right move for us. Absolutely. And I missed some things about Mixer, but I'm actually glad it closed because it forced us to make this move and to think differently and to do things now that I think will and already have helped us grow, helped us expand, and will in the long term as well. And that is stuff like, I mean, we're doing daily videos now. We finally got to a point this week, daily videos. Next week will be daily videos. So come join us. And that's going to be a huge part of our growth, all centered on Xbox news. And then streaming really is just a bonus add-on to that. So it did take us some time to understand, I think. Streaming on YouTube is vastly different than streaming on Twitch and Mixer on two fronts. How you stream, but also why you stream. Where streaming on
And in my case, if you
stream. Streaming on Twitch and Mixer is the main content. Streaming on YouTube is additional content. It's not the main content. And so you've got to go about it a little bit differently. But I have enjoyed I think it's the right move, and I'm excited. It's taken us a year to figure out the path going forward, and we think we've got it figured out, and I think it's going well. Spicy. Thoughts on the past year, reflections, thoughts on moving over to YouTube.
Well, it was scary at the time. I mean, everything. I felt like everything was closing down at that time. I mean, that was when. So that's when a lot of people were banned from Twitch. Twitch was that was the beginning of the Twitch stuff that we, deep down we don't talk about, but are happening there. And it's just like, I don't know. I was really turned off by Twitch really, really bad. And to have Mixer go down and to think that I would have to go to Twitch because I don't like Twitch. I haven't watched a Twitch stream besides the Tarkov.
Unless drops are on.
Unless drops are on from Tarkov. I haven't watched it ever since, I don't know, May of 2019. So that was a long time ago. So it was really scary thinking that we were going to have to go to someplace that I hated. And no one wants to go to someplace that you hate.
Well, our choices at the time were Facebook gaming,
Yeah.
Twitch, and YouTube. And I remember distinctly when we heard the news, I called Spicy and I said, we need to move. There's no point in waiting on Mixer to close down. They give you like a month.
Yeah, they gave us a month, but why? You had to move.
You had to
quick.
move right away.
Yeah.
Why wait? Why waste time there? And so we immediately, let's look into Facebook. Let's get over there right away because we just assumed that would be the place to go.
Well, because Mixer said, hey, they're going to accept you as a partner. So just go over to Facebook. That's where it is. The site will now redirect there. So we were thinking, oh, cool. Yeah.
We could just go there. But then upon further thought, we were already partnered on YouTube. We were lucky enough that we had already reached partner status on YouTube. And I called Spicy back and hey, maybe we go to YouTube. And Spicy, I don't even think hesitated and said yes.
Absolutely.
That's because he saw the interface.
Well, because we Jordan has a good point. I don't know how it is now, but the Facebook interface was
nasty.
Well, it was what would you call it? A preview program? Like it was early access, and it didn't have a lot of features that were very important for a stream. And after doing that, and we signed up and did everything, and then David called and said YouTube. Oh, it was perfect. It fit our brand. It fit a whole bunch of things. We already had over the years we've been putting videos up there. We had a presence there.
Yeah.
I
think the biggest shift from us moving to YouTube was we didn't put any thought into what we were putting on YouTube. It was just like, we'll just put there more as an archive.
Yeah, because we put our shows on there as an archive.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't get lost.
And what it's forced us to do is think, okay, what content can we create for our community, for people who are, and that's where it's forced us to go. And I think we've landed in the right spot. And from here, we're kind of just at the beginning. 1 year in, we're just at the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jordan, let's wrap it up with some final thoughts here on the change to YouTube. And happy anniversary, everybody who has the 11-month, 30-day badge today.
Yeah.
The 1 year badge, is that the gold badge at a year?
It'll be I believe it's the gold one.
Oh,
the big
dirty.
gold one. So, no, I think it was. I think it was a good. Well, because like you said, it was the two choices of Facebook or YouTube because we weren't really looking at Twitch all that seriously, I guess, at the time.
Because because they don't take content creators seriously. So how can we take them seriously? You know, there's a whole. I could go on and on about it. But.
So no, I'm really glad because I was browsing the Facebook gaming stuff, and it was, to be honest, it was mostly an interface thing that turned me off.
The interface
And-
is awkward.
Yeah, it was weird. Like I said, I don't know how it is now. I don't go a lot on Facebook gaming, but it was just
Hopefully, it's improved.
Yeah, it was odd. There was some challenges streaming wise. Like there is features that I do miss. Like I think, gifted subs. I really did like the GIF stuff that Mixer had.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's a lot of stuff that we miss. But I think all in all, now that we've gotten used to the streaming system, it's actually really easy and streamlined. You know what I mean?
streamlined.
There's actually a lot of features that we learned about.
It has taken us a year to figure it out.
That make it easy and streamlined and easy to go.
Yeah, so happy anniversary, everybody, and thank you everybody who has supported us over the time and the years and coming here. There was an adjustment. For instance, we were streaming every morning over on Mixer and doing the streaming thing, and we built up an audience over there as well. A lot of you were there with us, hanging out. We had quotes over there which have yet to come back, because here's the thing: bots were built for Mixer, for Twitch, not necessarily for YouTube.
Yeah.
Well, because YouTube is so different. It's set up.
It's a video platform.
It's set up for VODs. It's not set up for live streaming. And so for example, I'll give you an example of why it's different. The chat room in Twitch or anywhere else is one location. You find that URL, and that is permanent. You can always go to that channel, and always, even when the streamer's not streaming, you can go into a channel and just start chatting with the community. YouTube, because their goal, or just how it works, is every video that you stream is going to be a video searchable, if you so deem it, on YouTube as a video on demand. Mm-hmm. That's different because the chat is tied to the video, so every chat room is going to have a different URL, and so it's removed from the live stream section and put as the chat below the video, essentially, for YouTube. So even that thing right there is a different. It's hard to get bots access to a channel that changes every time you stream.
Yep.
So, anyways,
Yeah, and YouTube throws down the copyright hammer like it's nothing.
While you're on stream,
they don't
there's
get
no
it.
way.
Yeah, there's
on the
there's some
pre-show,
stuff.
This is a good example. This was a couple months ago when Jordan just wanted to play-by-play the new Kong movie that was going out.
Godzilla
Trailer.
was gone.
It was a trailer.
It was a trailer.
It was a trailer
I was
that we were
diagnosing
watching.
it.
And Jordan's like, okay, you see this guy's testicles? They're glowing blue. That means this. He was going by, and it was actually really fascinating. And then YouTube goes, nope, get off the air. And they just it just goes black on our live stream and says, you can't do this on this channel.
What happened is
I will be
came
honest,
up,
it was
came up
actually
with a warning
impressive.
on my side, because so I'm watching the back end. I always have up the back end on YouTube where you can control the stream and stuff. And it came up as a warning, like, warning, this is copyrighted material, and you don't think anything of it. You're like, okay, well, it's the pre-show.
Yeah, well, screw you.
We don't
That's basically-
we don't have it
No,
as a
it's
VOD really, so if they mute us
Copyright
after
this.
the fact, big deal. And then they just blacked us out.
And we were confused for a minute.
what happened?
And what's
then it was
crazy,
just-
what's crazy,
And
I
it's
mean-
just live while you're doing it. Like that is some cool technology.
well,
Well, and
what's so
once we
cool-
turned it off, it came back on.
What's so cool about that technology, I'm going to switch over to our, we're watching a video. This is the trailer we were watching earlier.
Splitgate.
So we have a picture-in-picture view of we're below what we're watching.
Yeah, and this is how we were.
This is how we were. And so it's not the same size, and it's cropped a little bit.
As what the original trailer
Like it's
would
not
be.
the same ratio, right?
Correct.
Like, it's not, yeah.
And it was still able to find that we were watching a trailer and shut us down. The technology behind that fascinating. I mean, an Anchorman where he's like, "You ate the whole ball of cheese." I'm not even mad. I was impressed that YouTube can actually on the fly on a live stream find things that are so changed, and they still could. I mean, they can shut you down. I'm not even mad. That's amazing. That technology is
It was
amazing.
like we were pretty impressed.
I know.
It was more like, whoa.
Well, I mean, there is.
Well, and the other thing that was hilarious
there's
was
the
Jordan.
conspiracy theory
Jordan
that,
was breaking down the show,
was.
and like right when he got to, here's what I think is actually happening.
No, I do have a little
Off the air.
conspiracy that I think it was a little bit of Warner Brothers input.
Well, he thinks
from
Warner
it,
Brothers
yeah.
shut us down.
Don't talk about it
Oh,
during
yeah,
this
we
show.
can. We can. Yeah, we
This
can.
is-
Yeah.
Hey.
This is the
They're-
actual podcast.
They're listening.
The pre and post show that we do, that's fine. They can shut us down. But this one, actually, we want to keep.
So Duro, a.k.a. Ryan, says in chat, he says, again, it must be said that the production quality of this podcast is head and shoulders above all other gaming podcasts from the pros. Huge thank you. I think
Thank you.
I think there's a couple things to that. I think us being in the same room is an advantage
Yeah.
that a lot of people just don't have. And number two is that's Spicy. Spicy's detail-oriented and really, he's a perfectionist.
Yeah.
That's
It's a boon and not a boon. You
And
know?
so that's where we get that from him. So Andrew Coulinane says, I'm glad Mixer shut down, or I would have never found the bros, which is interesting. We actually put up a poll in chat. How did you find the bros on this 1 year anniversary of
What are the people
of
saying?
us on Mixer? Hold on, the poll I believe is rendering itself real quick.
They're about to
And
shut us
there it
down.
is. 76% of people found us on podcast from the podcast
Itself.
the audio edition. 15% of people found us on Mixer, and 7% have found us on YouTube. So already in 1 year, half of Mixer numbers. Very cool. Very, very cool. I like that.
And thanks for the compliment. I try to do my best with production.
Yeah,
so.
Brother Buddha says that he agrees. Instead of a Discord chat with icons, this is real people on camera. It feels more like an actual show. Brian F. says, I love how the XoneBros have never waned from their purpose of positive gaming. I mean, we're
Oh,
in
cool.
all reality, yeah, thank you, Brian F. In all reality, it's just us coming together and talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were doing this before, and we were like, why not just record it?
Yeah,
And then go get food afterwards.
Oh, man.
The one thing that I do miss about Mixer is that there was kind of a cool way to promote us because it would pop on the Xbox for people.
That's true.
And
Yeah.
Mixer, when we got partnered, our partner manager said, look, you guys have an Xbox podcast on Fridays. I think it would be really cool to put you on the front of the Mixer
Yeah,
page
it was cool.
on Fridays. And every once in a while, we would get put on the front of the page on someone's Xbox talking about Xbox. And that really did expose us to a lot of people. And for that, I mean, I think it was just perfect for
Yeah.
us.
Well, and it did feel like for the first little while there that Mixer was focused on helping people grow and what tools could they use to help people grow, right?
Yeah, no, it really.
you know.
Mixer did a good job
Yeah.
of promoting you and putting you in front.
Yeah.
Of
So
the
that is
community.
missed.
And then games like Forza came along and tried to game the system and broke their
it
channel.
totally broke the algorithm that worked. Yeah.
Rose City Gamer says best podcast ever with a super chat. Thank you very much, Rose City Gamer. Yeah, and then people would jump into the stream and give you tons of people viewing them. Yeah, it was pretty big.
Well, and that had some issues too, because it would bump you up, but most of those people weren't watching. They were just farming sparks.
They were farming sparks because you could farm sparks. That's
Yeah.
right. Sparks was a good idea and concept, poorly executed.
Well, I don't know if it was poorly executed or it was just a bad idea.
Well, because I like the concept though of sparks, like this currency that you can earn through viewing.
True, but it was slightly monetized, and that's not a good idea for a business.
Yeah.
For something free that you can do on one monitor in your computer, I just don't think there was an end game. I like the idea.
Yeah.
It's cool, but I mean, there's a lot of things that I think's cool that just aren't possible. Like, give me free stuff. I mean, that forever. That's not. I mean, that's a great idea, but it won't work long term.
Long term, yeah. How does that work long term? That's a really good point.
That's what Sparks was.
That's true.
Well, and I think, do you remember towards the end there, Mixer actually got mad at the 24-hour streams?
Yeah. Well,
Yes,
Mixer
they
was.
did.
And it was actually really funny. They were like, "Hey guys, check out what we can do. This and that." And then like 6 months later, they're like,
What are you
"We
doing?"
hate you guys for doing this." And it was like, "Well, wait a minute.
Well,
you
because
like
what
encouraged us."
what ended up happening is in streaming, how many viewers you have is the king of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so if you can get in the top row, 2 or 3, if you're number 1, it's ideal because everybody who goes to that game is going to see your stream first.
Yeah.
And so if you're streaming 24 hours, you're beating that algorithm. And everybody, you'd have Minecraft people in the Minecraft channel on a 24-hour stream. They'd be your top 3 or 4 streams, and all Mixer had to do was make a 24-hour channel.
Yeah.
And they never did. So we would have, if you remember, we would do the XoneBros 24 hours and just play all of our shows, which we were gaming the system, yes, but I think we were doing it in the most correct way you could do it.
I remember that like announcement though, because they remember right at the end, probably like maybe a month or 2 left, they came out with a 24-hour channel. Remember they came out with the 24 or always on.
Always on.
Yeah, that's what it
And
was.
they like remember in that like thing they looked down upon it. Like the way it was worded, they were like, if you want to do this, then you go over here.
So
And you don't ever come back to
Go to your room.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah,
it was
but
like,
took them
whoa,
forever
hey.
to do it. But the 24 hours, so the XoneBros being on 24 hours was just a good way for us to get exposure, but it was a good way for a lot of people to get sparred. Oh, there was.
I want to know the internals of the conversation after the Forza stuff came out and they started seeing what people were doing.
Well, it
It's
broke
like,
Forza.
What
Because I was streaming Forza. We built a lot of people that discovered us through 2 games, Minecraft and Forza.
Mm-hmm.
And Forza, we were streaming it all the time. And then they attached influence in game to Forza Horizon 4. It was Forza Horizon 3 and Forza Motorsport that we were playing.
Because we were one of the top Forza streams for a while.
For a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Forza Horizon 4 came out, and we were one of the top streams there. And then they attached it to influence.
In the game.
In the game.
Terrible.
And you could get it by playing and streaming or watching. And so people made 24. And the top 15 streams of Forza Horizon 4 were always 24-hour streams of cars literally just sitting there.
There's the top one was just a camera going around a car again,
Just sitting there.
and again and,
And-
again.
That
so
must be the
what
rubber
it-
band on
What
his
it
controller.
did, again, an instance of like, I can see why Forza wanted to do this. Get people watching your game and streaming your game. But actually,
It actually bumped all the Forza streamers down.
Yeah. So
Down the page.
we never streamed Forza after that because we couldn't get,
There was no point.
You can't compete with 24-hour streams.
Of just a circling car.
Did Playground ever address that, or did they just say?
I think they yelled at Mixer, and the Mixer yelled at us.
Well, I think they
I remember that email.
I think they probably approached Microsoft and they were like, "Hey, can you fix this?" And Microsoft was like, "Well, we're getting rid of it anyway."
Yeah, they're like,
so no.
just
You
6
know
months.
what,
Give it 6 months.
Give us a couple
let
months.
me put it in the to-do pile.
Well, because you got. I mean, they obviously saw that after. Let's say a month into it, that system was broken. You had to have as a developer.
Yeah. Psychotic says, I think you guys should do a coast-to-coast podcast and go across the country for 2 weeks. I have
That
some
would be
investments in
awesome.
crypto that I'm hoping to hit big, and when it does, that's what we'll do.
You're gonna buy an RV, and
Buy
we'll
it.
just RV it.
And we'll
An
get a
Airstream.
satellite internet, like top tier. We're just built.
Yeah, Elon Musk's
We'll have
Starlink.
this set up that like folds out of the wall.
That would actually
By
be
the end
super
of the
fun.
trip, we'll like hate each other.
Yeah.
Nah, we'll just be playing games.
Yeah, we'll have like 3 monitors set up for stream. That would be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Well, everybody, hey, thank you very much for listening.
Bromobile.
Happy 1 year YouTube anniversary,
Yeah.
everybody. Thank you for being here. For those of you that joined us day 1, got the badge day 1, tomorrow that bad boy's switching over, and you should have gold.
It should be a beautiful gold one. I'm
Yeah.
excited for you.
Thank you very much, and have a great week, everybody. It's going to be a big week of gaming. We'll see you next week.
That's it for the show?
That's it for the show. Same time, same place. Don't do anything we wouldn't do, which is
Not
a lot.
You said a lot and one
Not
said
much.
Not much.
Yeah,
The middle ground.
it's a nice middle ground. We appreciate the support. Go have fun. Go play Scarlet Nexus. Oh, baby.
Yeah. Good weekend.
Good weekend. Have a great rest of your week, guys. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
I'm